Okay, next up, if you have kiddos who are wanting to read, starting to read, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, right there. Our best deal for the early learners is our very first reading set. This is full of 15 books that are specifically developed for kids who are learning to read. As the books progress, they build on the material shared in the book before. So this is the very first book, Pirate Pat. It's set up so that as a parent or adult, you can help the children read in a tandem style. So the night was cold, the sky was black, the window rattled, and then the kid says, tap, tap, tap. There's someone there, I'm sure of it. Sam, do stop barking. Sit, Sam, sit. That's nice because it kind of takes the pressure off of them to read a whole book, introduces the words. And then as you go on, here's book 6, The Queen Makes a Scene. So you can see the word bubbles get bigger. This font changes, it gets larger. That's something else that they can read. Now this is book 6, so you can imagine all the changes between here and 1, getting them up to this point. And then by the time you get to the very end, Mr. Mystery, they can read the whole book. There is no tandem reading involved. Mr. Mystery came from a faraway land. Great illustrations, rhyming, lots of different styles, introducing all the different parts of our language. Once they get beyond basic readers, there are chapter books. So these are very early chapter books. We've got Hey Jack and Billy B. Brown, and they're best friends, and they show up in each other's books. So these are really nice. They were designed by a mom whose child was dyslexic. So you'll see a lot of white space. The words are big. There's variation in font. There's no hyphens anywhere. The chapter or the sentences end on the page. That really frustrates my children. Well, there's hyphens, but they're not hyphenated words. I mean, it's not simple words, but it gets them going. This was a great confidence booster. Mom and Dad were super excited to start chapter books, and we just couldn't do it with like Magic Tree House quite yet. So we started with these. She was really excited. Once you get beyond those, Billy B. Mysteries, these are really fun. There's 6 in this series, but there's more words per page. The font's still a good size, still illustrations. These are really nice. We also have a few standalone chapter books from the reading series, Young Reading Stories. These Stories of Mermaids. So this has chapters in it, but each chapter is a different story. So it's kind of nice. My daughter would say, I read a whole chapter, and it was a whole story, but she was really excited. So I was excited for her. If we go over to nonfiction, we have our Young Beginners books, baby animals, bugs, there's dinosaurs, there's a couple more of these. These are fairly new. But these are all nonfiction text, pretty basic words. We loved starting with these. Even as young as like 3, I would read these to the girls. Once we get beyond there, go up to our just beginner series. If you've got a one who loves nonfiction, learning facts, my kids are always really drawn to these. Owls, dinosaurs. This one comes in the dinosaur kit. If you're interested in being an archaeologist, digging around, there's a rock. It has the fossils inside of it, and the kids take their little hammer and break it apart and build it. But this book comes in that kit. It also comes by itself. Let's see, eggs, chicks, volcanoes. There's so many topics in these. I like the 5-minute bedtime stories. Once you get to kindergarten, the teachers like us to read 10, 15 minutes a night. I like to read to my kids. You should never stop reading to your children. It's a great way to introduce fluency, vocabulary. Just let them listen and comprehend instead of spending so much time trying to figure out the words. They can enjoy a story, still counts as reading. 5-minute bedtime stories. We also have 10-minute bedtime stories. These are nice because it really does take you 5 minutes to read this if you're pressed for time. So still have good pictures. I really like these, especially if we just have to squeeze our time in. I know I can read 2 and be done. So, all right, well, that's what I have for beginner readers. There's lots more. If you have any questions, please ask. Thanks.